Hello guys. So I wanted to make a follow-up video to my previous video because, the first impressions are over. Now I want to kind of talk about some stuff. I want to reply to some comments, and I want to say a few things that I think are really... First off, I think my points are very misunderstood, or, they're not hard to understand, but they've been misunderstood by a lot of YouTube, commenters at least. But one thing I want to point out is my first video was posted on like July 20th or something. Like that's the day after Line came out. And most of you guys are only seeing the video 2.5 weeks after. So you had a lot of time to deal with Line and get used to it, and your frustration wasn't captured. Like if I did another Line review like today, it would be much less volatile than it was then, because that was an hour after I dealt with it, and I was really pissed off. It's kind of like when you get a new TV and the remote control has a different layout, and you're like, where the fuck is the TV video button? And you're trying to find the TV video button so you can play your Xbox, but you can't fucking find it. You want to throw the remote control out the window, but then eventually you find the button, and then you forget all about it, and you're like, well, that's where the button is. So, I mean, yeah, I know, it's easy to change these settings, but the frustration was very, from the very first time of me using it. So, it's kind of weird the video got popular, so long after I posted it, that time frame, I think, is important for it. But, whatever. Now, I was really struggling to decide. I want to talk about Lion. I wanted to think, what do I like about it? What's good about Lion? And the only thing that's good about Lion, is that it's if you turn everything off that they did, it's Snow Leopard. That's what's good about Lion. I like Snow Leopard a lot. I had no complaints over Snow Leopard. I had no complaints over any OS 10 they've done up until Lion. No complaints. I loved all of them. And it's kind of like OS 10 is like a beautiful girl, and every point 6, point 7 is like a new outfit for her. And it's like Snow Leopard was like a cheerleader outfit, and then they took that cheerleader and pushed her into a pile of shit, and then they picked her up and called it Lion. So I'm not going to quit Apple because it's covered in shit. I'll just hose it off, and then it's still a girl in a cheerleading outfit. So that's kind of what's going on. I tried really hard. What's good about Lion? In the comments, people have said, well, it boots faster and Spotlight's faster. I haven't noticed a difference. I really haven't. I don't turn my computer off and on that often that I gonna time how fast it boots, and I don't use Spotlight hardly ever. So maybe if they improve those, that's great. But if they're gonna make a computer faster, that should be a free update. The system should run as fast as it can, and if they find a way to improve the code, they should just fix it, not have me pay $30 for it. And I feel like that's what's going on. I feel like you're paying $30 for all these cool new features, like fucking Launchpad. Oh, and I want to point something out on Launchpad. Right click does not do anything. I'm pushing right click. Watch this. Watch this. Let me get it on there. Oh, shit, fuck. Let me just get it. See this? I'm right clicking. It doesn't do anything. And for all you PC users, control click on Mac is the same as right click. So if I say I'm control clicking on something, that's right click. See this control click? This is right click. It's the same. So when I say control click, that is right click, and it didn't work. Also, Escape absolutely did not unminimize Chrome. Now I can't even maximize Chrome because I patched it or whatever, but Escape absolutely did not. It's in the video. I click Escape and it didn't work, and you're like, oh, idiot, use Escape. Fucking, you're the idiot. I pushed Escape. Why don't you fucking watch the video for a second? Anyway, since then, I've had my first brush with Time Capsule. Time Capsule is this thing where if you're working with your apps and all of a sudden you quit them, it'll remember exactly what you were doing and just refresh it, like an iPad on an iPhone. And I really like it on my phone. When I'm playing a game and I get a call, I can just answer the call and come back to the game. But here's why it's so fucking bad. So one time I was getting sick on my computer. I had a lot of shit open. I had 20 things open. I had Photoshop, I had Illustrator, I had my Twitter thing, my Skype, Audium, Chrome, iTunes, Mail. I had probably 15 some things open, and I'm working in Photoshop. And then it crashes. Photoshop tends to crash sometimes. It crashes. So I'm okay, fine. I'll restart my computer. I turn it back on. What happens when I turn it back on? 20 fucking icons appear in the dock and start bouncing like they're all turning on. And it's so fucking stupid that they're going to open all 20 at the same time. You can't even open them one at a time. I know if I try to open iTunes, Chrome, and fucking Skype at the same time, it takes a long time to open them all. Whereas if I open them sequentially, it goes much faster. As if they don't know that. And they don't even open them from smallest to largest. They just fucking open them all at once. You try opening in this Illustrator and Photoshop at once and see how long it takes you. It takes a long time. It's really annoying. And they all start opening. And you know what else is stupid? If Chrome crashes and I have 30 tabs open, when I boot back up, it says, hey, You had 30 tabs open. Do you want to open them all again? And I can say, no thanks. I just want to use Google real quick. I don't want all my tabs open. Well, it doesn't do that. It just opens them all up for you. So there I am waiting for 20 fucking minutes for all my apps to open. And I'm thinking, well, at least the light at the end of the storm here is that at least my Photoshop progress will probably be fine. So then it finally all boots up, and Photoshop just boots to a blank fucking screen. It didn't even save my shit on Photoshop. And I'm sure that's mostly Photoshop's fault, but it's like, at that point, I'd rather nothing happen at all. I'd rather I didn't wait 20 fucking minutes for everything to open just to get Photoshop not to save my progress. Well, what's Capsule good for? For when I just quit and reopen it? Well, I can save it myself. I'm responsible enough to save it myself. And I can already hear the comments go, "Oh, you fucking idiot. Why don't you just not open so many apps? Why don't you just use your computer? Or why don't you get a better computer?" You know what? Fuck you. It's none of your fucking business how many apps I open or don't open. If a computer can't handle having 30 apps open, then the computer should cap you at 29 apps and say, sorry, you can't open 30. And don't even tell me that it's because I have a Mac that it can't handle 30 apps. Like, I've never done it on PC. Like, I've never had Windows open 20 apps and have a crash. Fuck off with all that. Computers all crash when you open 25 things. So, I don't want to even hear those comments. Like, oh, why don't you learn to use a computer? It won't crash so much. Photoshop crashes all the time. It's fucking bloated as hell. So there's Time Capsule. I don't like it. I wish I could turn it off. I might be able to. Maybe I'll look it up later. I just really don't turn my computer off that often that I even care. So there's nothing good to say about Lion. I don't like anything about it. I pretty much disabled everything, and now I have Snow Leopard that I paid $30 extra for. So whatever. Now I do want to talk about some comments that I've been getting and address them a little bit. So here I got them open right here. I got little screenshots. Get a real computer, dude. A man's computer. I guess that's referring to PC or Linux. I don't know. I mean, I guess I would agree that Linux would be a man's computer, and both Windows and Mac would be like for amateurs. I mean, I understand Linux is pretty awesome. I don't know how to use it. I don't really have the time to learn. But you Linux guys, I got my props. Thank you for reminding me why I left Mac. I found your problem. It was you bought a Mac. Still happy with an Apple. I don't hate Apple. Like I said, Snow Leopard is a great system. System 10 is awesome. I just don't like the 5 new features or 4 new features Lion added. I hated them. They were a huge mistake. They were a waste of time. So that's it. I don't hate Apple. I'm not going to leave Apple because of this. I just put it all back, so it's fine now. Literally, I was able to fix my problems within 10 minutes of installing Lion. It took me about 30 seconds to figure out how to change the... That's not the point. Guys, the difficulty of changing the settings isn't the point. The point is how the defaults were just changed. That's the frustration. Like, I'm not frustrated by how hard it was to change the settings. I'm frustrated that I want to just use my computer like I'm used to, and it's fucking different all of a sudden. That's inappropriate for, like, a user to put up with. That's not appropriate to do to your users. And, maybe, like, I know Windows 7 is way different from Windows XP. Like, way different. So maybe you Windows guys don't fully get it, and maybe I'm the one that doesn't get it. But, System 10.1 up through 10.6, I never had to deal with anything. No problems. Make an installation. All the features are great and seamless. Everything's fucking great. Then, from 6 to 7, complete fucking clusterfuck. Totally horrible. Like, that's a problem. It isn't my problem. That's Apple's problem for doing that. Because they did it right 6 times, and they fucked it up 1 time. Like, whose mistake is that? It's not mine, And people are like, oh, why don't you just not fucking buy Lion then? Why don't you read about it first and don't buy it? That's not how it works, though. It's not like I can skip over Lion and then get, the next one, fucking Siberian Tiger or whatever, and I can get that one next, and everything will be fine. Steve Jobs isn't the kind of guy who's going to be like, you know what, I made a mistake. No, he's not. Everything that you see here, that's going to be in the next one, too, and in the next one. So, like, how long am I going to not buy a new system? Forever? Like, give me a break. I gotta buy it and deal with it. So, like, I'm not gonna not buy Lion. That's not a solution to the problem, Alright, so then I got this kind of first world problems motif. Why do you get so mad? Chill out, dude. Get a life. Like, I'm not an idiot. I know that me complaining about inverted scrolling is a fucking first world problem. I know that. And you guys being agitated by my video, that's a first world fucking problem too. And pretty much everything's a first world problem when you're talking about Holocaust and fucking Ebola outbreaks in Africa. Everything's a first world problem. So, like, it's stupid to go around YouTube videos saying, oh, well, you shouldn't post this because it's not important to the world dynamic. Like, I know it isn't. I'm not saying that this is the most important thing in the world, but I'm talking about a very specific thing, which is System 10 and Lion, and I have a complaint about it. That's it. That's what the video's about. If you came to watch the fucking video just to tell me that it's a first world problem, you're preaching to the choir. I know very well it's a first world problem, so piss off. Here's one of my favorite comments that I ever got. You have crappy internet. That's why it took me long to download. Okay. Your room is a mess. You need some sun. Surprised you still have a mom. That's weird. That's a weird one. Like, what, my mom would leave me? I don't know how my mom even got involved. Get a life, classic. And then get a PC, loser. Why would I get a PC? Why would I don't get why. What leads you to believe that I need to get a PC? That's really weird. And then, very clever how you look stupid at the end, but then to look tough. And tough is in quotes for some reason, as if I spelled it this way or said tough in a weird way. You continue to bash on Launchpad. No, I bash on Launchpad because I just realized how much worse it was than the first time. I don't want to get back to it. And I did look dumb, and I apologize. The reason that I couldn't find the scrolling option is because I did it at work first on my laptop. And at work on my laptop, it was in trackpad options. So I'm going into this. It wasn't scripted. I was doing that all off the cuff. And I was 100% sure that it was in trackpad options. So I was just kind of skipping over everything else, pretending I was stumbling around because I knew it was in trackpad options. But then I obviously ran into a big glitch when trackpad options was gone. I was really confused. I understand now it's in both places, but whatever. So I look stupid. I don't care. I think you're missing something. Lion requires common sense. That's so stupid. Like, does that mean that Leopard didn't require common sense and only now Lion? Now Apple decided to complicate things with common sense by inverting the scrolling, and now, it's fucking stupid. You look like Sheldon Cooper. Yeah, I got a lot of these. I looked it up. I do look quite a bit like Sheldon Cooper. So, that's fine. I'm not really insulted by that. Here's some cool comments. I think your problem is that you're a faggot. At least you spelled faggot right. Wow, what a whiny, skinny faggot. You should be embarrassed of your life. I appreciate you guys coming on and commenting. I do. I never looked at it this way, that not only could you diagnose my homosexuality from me ranting about a computer system, but that's the problem. The inverted scrolling isn't the problem. The problem is that I am a fag. Never thought of it that way. I appreciate you letting me look at it in that perspective. So Apple users are complaining about learning how to use something they buy. What the fuck? The world hates you douchebags. Okay. I've installed computer systems for a long time. I've upgraded from, System 8 all the way up to Lion. This is the only time I've ever had to Google how to use my computer and how to fucking invert scrolling and how to fix options and how pissed off I got about every feature they added. It isn't about complaining about learning. It's complaining about the features. Why don't you get the point? God. I love how completely incapacitated Mac fags are by the lack of right-click menu. We have it. It's right here. You see, I showed you the mouse menu. I have a right-click right here. And Macs had a right-click. The Mighty Mouse, even though it looks like it's only got one button, it's an illusion. The Mighty Mouse actually has 2 different clicks. So, fuck you. And you people say right-click here to delete them. Doesn't do anything. Here, do you hear me clicking? It doesn't do anything, so fuck off. If you're going to give me a tip like that, at least be right. And the only good tip I got, actually, I didn't know this, you can put equations in here, and it'll tell you the answer. And I knew there was a calculator outside of Dashboard. I knew there's an app called Calculator. I knew that. I just say that the only thing, I don't go dig it out. I just go to the dashboard to use the calculator, which is the only thing I use it for. If I can have the calculator right here on the desktop, I'd like that the best. But whatever. So, I hope that helps clear some things up. I still hate Lion, but at this point, I'm pretty much just pretending it didn't happen. I'm pretending I'm on Snow Leopard, and I'm pretending that it didn't all happen. So, thanks guys for watching.